In addition to searching for and finding narcotics, Antomarchi says that Layla is also used in suspect apprehension. It's been 3 years since Lake Texoma reached record elevation, forcing the floodgates to be opened. This whole parking lot underwater. Dr. Kimbrough advises for everyone to get a flu shot because some protection is better than none. She also says to sanitize your hands regularly to help stop the spread of the flu. Clifton says most firefighters will only have to do scenarios like this once or twice a year. But it's just as important to know these kind of skills as it is the skills they use on their everyday routine calls. Progress is being made on the New Bottom High School, but it hasn't been without some obstacles. It happened here around 8:30 tonight. So far, we only know that it was a female that was hit. Neen says the suspects could be trying to resell the items. For a list of what to look out for, head to KXII.com. Rising waters from Harvey are swallowing up Houston, and crews have been working around the clock to rescue thousands of people. John Meeker testified in court he purposely set his home on fire because his girlfriend had left him. Harnessing memories.
We're riding for Alzheimer's awareness.
In honor of those who've lost theirs and their lives.
Let people know that it's out there and it affects every family.
That's why Michael Cunningham and his friend Daryl Cruz have traveled more than 700 miles in their covered wagons pulled by their mules.
My mother passed away with Alzheimer's, and he's had a good friend passed away with Alzheimer's.
Their destination, California.
This is April.
It's a trip the friends have been planning for years and finally set out on in September.
A lot of people are envious, and they say, well, I sure wish we could do that. Then there's a lot of people say, are y'all crazy?
The wagons have the essentials.
Water here, suction.
We thought we'd probably have to just pull over and sweep the side of the road somewhere,
But they say the people they've met along the way have been so welcoming.
Nothing but good to say about American people.
That they've hardly needed to use them.
Everywhere we've been so far, everybody has just opened their places up to us, and we stay, we turn our mules out in the pastures.
One of those people, John Carter.
Showed them where the bathroom in the house was, and the sink and the refrigerator, and said, I'll see you this evening. And they was in bed when I got home, so I didn't even meet them till the next day.
Carter even decided to join Cunningham and Cruz for a day on their journey.
Just canceled work, so you know what, I'm gonna ride along with you guys for a little while.
Cunningham says they clear about 20 miles a day. He hopes to make it to California early next year, but he's in no rush.
If not, March is okay too.
In Fannin County, Elena Mendoza, News 12.
It's been a terrible injustice.
Shoshana Tanner founded Topaz Canine Services and has been training service dogs for 10 years. She says when she went to go get something from her car last Thursday morning, she didn't know JP candidate Bob Clemens was at her back door, where she lives and trains the dogs.
The dog saw him and immediately ran up to greet him in a very friendly manner, all three yellow Labradors wagging their tail.
But Clemens, a retired constable of 16 years who always carries pepper spray on him, says the dogs came at him.
They were growling, showing their teeth, and I feared for my life.
Tanner says 2 dogs were sprayed. One, Macy, a retired service dog.
She has devoted her life to giving me independence by helping me with hearing alerts because I'm profoundly deaf.
And Nova, a service dog in training, both yellow labs.
I didn't know they were service dogs, but it wouldn't have mattered. I didn't think service dogs were vicious.
In a report from the sheriff's office, Clemens stated one of the dogs was a pit bull and, quote, it wasn't the service dog they're claiming it was, end quote.
You know, this definitely is not politically motivated at all. This could have been anyone that came onto our property. But the fact that it was someone running for public office did kind of make it a little bit worse.
Clemens says he hopes this doesn't change the voters' attitudes.
I was protecting myself and that I didn't have any choice.
Tanner says her husband, who suffers from asthma, required medical attention after inhaling the pepper spray. She also says her dog's service training will need to be reassessed due to the trauma they suffered.
It breaks my heart because she's done so much for me for the whole time that she was working.
She was very spirited and just very lively.
Alyssa Warnick says not a day goes by that she doesn't think of her older sister Jennifer Harris or hope for a resolution in the case.
You know, after 16 years, it's pretty unfortunate, to say the least, that the person or persons that were involved in Jennifer's murder have never even had to defend themselves.
Harris was just 28 years old when she went missing Mother's Day 2002. 6 days later, her naked body was found by a fisherman floating in the Red River.
She was pregnant, and I have no doubt she would have been a great mother, and that is an additional life that was taken.
An autopsy classified her death as a violent homicide. Her uterus had somehow been removed.
I've gotten married, had children, and these are all things that someone else has possibly gotten to do, and they're a murderer.
But now Warnick says things are looking up. Warnick and her husband Barry attribute their renewed hope in the case to Fannin County Sheriff Mark Johnson.
You know, Sheriff Johnson has done more in 1 year than the last 15 years of 3 previous sheriffs.
Johnson says this is the only open and unsolved murder case in the county.
We're looking at some different angles. We've had, we're following any leads that we pick up on it.
Since taking office last January, Johnson has kept Harris's case a top priority. He says recently a hypnosis interview was conducted on a possible witness who came forward. They're also looking at some newly obtained DNA and autopsy records.
It's about justice and getting justice. And our family deserves it, and Alyssa deserves it.
In Fannin County, Elena Mendoza, News 12.